Hello and welcome to Unmasters of Magic. Yesterday on my video, I promised that if I made my money back on my mystery booster, I'd open another one. And as I pulled a friggin' mana crypt, I think that qualified as it paid for the box itself and everything else was just gravy. So, I picked up another one. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. I'd guarantee that if I make my money back on this one, I'd buy another one, but there's some virus that cannot be named, human malware, as I've heard it referred to. And I don't want to, go outside in public. We'll see how it goes this week. Had to cancel my trip to Vegas tomorrow. Yay on that. And I'd love to name the company that won't give us our money back for the flight, but, you know, they're litigious. Let's see how we do. Lingering Souls, solid card there. I think it's worth probably $1. Let's check. Spider's bad. Spider Mantis, I'll have to check the price on that. Burnished Heart, worth $1 or $2. Doom Gape. So we're there. And a Savage Knuckleblade. I'm pretty sure that's a bulk rare there. Fate Spinner Foil. Not going to say anything negative about that. That'll be that'll suck for people to play against an EDH. I know they all love it. Beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses a draw step, main phase, or combat phase. Skips, gets that one. Oh, it's a lonesome unicorn. Put that there because it's worth stuff. Besides, everybody needs that for EDH decks. Total staple there. Preordain. I think that's worth I think I saw it for $4. I think I saw it listed as. We'll see. Raging Sawtooth. Forgotten Cave. Nemesis of Reason. I'm actually working on a God of Deception deck, and that'll have to go into it. Though I'm pretty sure I already had one of those. Chromatic Lantern. I think they're worth about $10 I think I saw today. Going to play in. And Goblin Bushwhacker foil. That's disappointing foil. Not even uncommon foil. I think it's the first common foil we pulled. Hopefully it's not a bad sign of things to come. Oh, Shining Armor. It was murder most foul. Elvish Fury with buyback. Frontier Bouviac. I think it's worth a small chunk. Imperial Armor. Might be worth something. Oh, we pulled one of the biggies from the set. Sylvala, Heart of the Wilds. She's worth a fair bit. I think it's worth like $50, give or take. I'll have to double check on that one and get back to you. It'll be on the screen, I'm sure. Followed up with another foil, Boundless Realms. We talked about that one yesterday. It was about $2.50, $3, but I still like it. I'm still going to put that into a deck. I don't care what they say. Resurrection. Propaganda. I think it's like a $9. I can't even remember how much that was, but it was a fair chunk. $7. We'll have to double check that. I can't remember if that was American or Canadian. Will o' the Wisp. Went from rare to uncommon. Granted, it was a terrible rare. Impact Tremors. I think that's worth $1 or $2. Seek the Horizons. There was a small amount on that one. Overgrown Battlements. I have some friends that love my deck with those in it. You know, just nothing like 8 walls that tap for mana equal number of walls I control. It may or may not lead into a yeah. You'll know it if you see the card. Frogmite, I think that's worth something. Font of Mythos. I don't think that's worth too much. Chasm Skulker. Playable. Wow, that's 2 common foils, and not even good common foils either. Kind of got me worried here, guys. We're not going to make our money back on the second one? Weight of the Underworld. Fallen Angel. Harrow. I think that's worth a couple bucks. Blade Wing the Risen. That was rare. I know that was rare. Zombie Dragon, flying 4/4 for 7. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target dragon from your graveyard to the battlefield. Dragons you control get +1/+1. I mean, it doesn't suck. Farmstead Gleaner. Doesn't tap. Put +1 counter on untap. Great to mill. You put this in the God of Deception deck. Tap it to mill 2. 2 mana, untap it. Put a +1 counter on it. Tap to mill 3. Put a counter on it. Tap to mill 4. Just kind of goes, ha. Questing Feldegriff. Questing Feldegriff. Not sure what it's worth, but it's definitely one of those fun cards. Recruiter of the Guard. When Recruiter of the Guard enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with toughness 2 or less, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Anything that allows you to search is usually pretty solid. I don't know what the cost is. We'll take a look. And a foil Ravenous Trap. Wow. The foils are evading me. Like, wow. I don't think we have $5 of the foils there. This is disappoint. And there's a compelling argument against having bad foils, because it makes me sad. But we're steadily progressing to better cards. Goblin Bombardment. There's an uncommon with some value on it. About $5 to $10 on that. Jungle Barrier. Gateway Plaza. Energy Fields. Prevent all damage dealt to you from sources you do not control. When a card is put into your graveyard, sacrifice it. Debtor's Knell. Beginning of your upkeep, you put target creature card from graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Why is that not my night deck? I'll have to look into that. Guerrilla Tactics. Madness, I say madness, or at least a variation of madness. Discard it, do something. That's, wow, have we got a... Okay, I guess the Fate Spinner is the most valuable of that stack. Darksteel Mutation, I think that's worth $1 or $2. A very solid card to get rid of a commander. I mean, it gives him a pretty good blocker, but that's about it. Thoughtcast. Thoughtcast used to be worth some money. Let's see how it is now. Put that there because I like it. Don't care if it's worth anything. I like it. Man, these cards are still slippery. Anger, I think that's worth $1 or $2. Not angry about getting that. Treacherous Terrain. Enchanted Evening. All permanents are enchantments in addition to its other types. Meandering Tower Shell. I'm pretty sure that's a bulk rare as well. And another common. Wow. Well, I won't lie, this third is disappointing so far. Wall of Omens. I think that's a $2 common there. I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments below. Street Wraith. I think that's worth something as well. Grape Shot. Yay, Storm. Storm and Capside, or Cascade, two of everybody's least powerful things. Though we shouldn't ban that, I'm sure. Blightning. Whisper Silk Cloak. I think that's worth $1 or $2. Kargan Dragonlord. Starts 2/2, gets up to an 8/8 flying trample with fire breathing. Of course, it's 10 mana to do that, but we'll see. See what that says. Stunt Double. Flash. You may enters the battlefield a copy of any creature on the battlefield. So it's a flash clone for the same amount of mana. What's wrong with that? And Trailblazer's Boots. Not a terrible card in EDH because somebody's gonna have a non-basic land. Like they're gonna. Because there's always something that's using for a mana boost or something. And everybody likes their to pimp out their EDH decks, so they always go with the stuff to help them out. Young Pyromancer, I think that's worth $1 or $2. I think it's worth $1. Ancient Brontodon, I think that's $1. Elephant Guide. Lightning Helix, that's got a bit of value on it as an uncommon. Dungrove Elder. I'll have to double check the cost on that one, but I think it's reasonably bulk. Schematic Revelation. Like that card. Draw a card for each creature you control. You gain life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. So it gets you life, gives you cards. 2 solid things for 5 mana. I mean, you have to have lands, or you have to have creatures in play, but it's still worth it. Wear and Tear, another. Wow, we are getting clobbered on the foil slot. That just tells me that we're going to pull something epic out of it, like just awesomely epic. I don't actually know what the best foil card out of this set is, so it'll surprise us when we pull it, I'm sure. Thraben Inspector, I think that's worth something. I can't remember. Revenant Streak. Imperious Perfect, a couple bucks there. Soul Manipulation, I think that's worth $1. Blighted Fan, nothing to sneeze at. River Boas, both the Boas are solid. They're 2/1 regenerates, they're great blockers, and they have Island Walk or Swamp Walk, and you're going to hit somebody with that. Kiki Jiki, Mirror Breaker. I think that's got to be close to $10 on that guy. Oh, one of the most breakable cards in EDH. And a Mana Weft Sliver. Pulled one of those. That was the last thing we pulled out of the last box we opened. Maybe we're going with in reverse, because that one started strong. Maybe this one's going to finish strong. Let's see if we can finish strong. Faith's Fetters. People don't like this one. Like they say it's an overrated card. It stops Planeswalkers dead. I mean, the guy in the graveyard, we can recast it and play. It just stays there. They can't get rid of it. They can't kill it. Gets rid of lands that have activated abilities. You got a Maze of Ith? No, you don't. There's so many things that works with, but it's so underappreciated. Murder of Crows. So that was in Game of Thrones when they killed all the guys up north, I guess. As stated, I will stop the dad jokes when I get enough patrons, supports that ask me to do so. Artisan of Kozilek, I think that's worth $1. Time Sieve. I don't know how much Time Sieve is worth anymore, but sacrifice 5 artifacts, take an extra turn after this one. I know there's a couple infinite combos with it, but even as non-infinite combo, you just have a lot of tokens, artifact tokens. That new fairy from the Brawl decks, the Provocateur, that would be a good one with that one. Might have to give that to my friend with the Provocateur deck, just in case. And we pulled an Eldrazi Monument. That's got a bit of value on it, I know that. And another common for the foil slot. Virulent Swipe, don't demonetize me, YouTube, because we're talking about a different Virulent Swipe. Renegade Map, I think that's worth something. Chatter of Squirrels, just for fun. Boros Reckoner, this card was one of the best cards in Standard at the time. I think it has dropped off the cliff since then, though, but we'll see. And now we can have it in stereo, the last 2 packs. Man, the foils hate me in this one. Oh, ooh. I choose to believe I'm going to finish strong on those just to make up for this. The box is taunting me. I have not offered enough sacrifices to the god of random luck. Dark Ritual. I did not know they reprinted Dark Ritual. I'm going to go hand it right now to my friend who loves it. He was dying for those cards. Ichiban. Sakura Tribe Elder. We call it in Ichiban because Sakura Ichiban. If you're old enough to remember the commercials, otherwise don't judge me. I think they call it Gary. I don't know. Some people have commented on that. Armament Corpse and Darksteel Citadel. I think that's worth $1. Guided Passage. Talk about the least selective tutor ever. Reveal cards in your library. An opponent chooses from among them a creature, a land, and a non-creature, non-land card. Put those chosen to your hand. See, it's 3-1, but it's probably not the ones you need at the time, but it's fun to play. Alicia, Who Smiles at Death. For those who play with Tiny Leaders decks, she's one I was actually making a Tiny Leaders deck around. And Fiery Gambit, well, it's technically I got what I asked for. I got a rare foil. It's probably worth less than the paper it's printed on, but it's a fiery Gambit. Alicia, Who Smiles at Death. I'm excluding this pack from the complaining about the foils. I have an eternal thirst for better cards. Not a fan of that. Draw 2 cards, discard a card. I mean, yeah, you're getting through it, but 5 mana. Oof, you better have a use for the discard. Hey, Chromatic Star. I think that's about $4 or $5. Gonti, Lord of Luxury. I've seen a couple EDH decks that are pretty broken with that, but that's pretty much the closest I've seen. I don't think it's worth anything. Proclamation of Rebirth. I have a hunch this is worth something. Return up to 3 target creature cards with converted mana cost 1 or less from a graveyard to play, and you can forecast it to return target creature with converted mana cost 1 or less from graveyard to play. I'm going to check on that one. You'll see it on the screen value. I know that there's some pretty good use for that one at some point, but I don't know if it's still relevant. I guess we'll find out. Prowling Kakar. That edict is diabolic. Bone Saws ready. Timely reinforcements. Michael Loth. Probably not worth anything, but man, this card can get out of control if left unattended. And another Proclamation of Rebirth. That's, well, we're going to hope that that one was worth something, because we just pulled 2 of them in 2 packs in a row, which is weird for rares. We pulled 2 uncommons in a row, and the same, and 2 rare cards in a row the same. So we'll see. Johnny Pridemate. I can get out of control, speaking of which. I think this is the one I was thinking was worth something, not the other one. Luchon Monster. I got to give that to... that works. I'm going to give that to... We're making an Atali egg deck. Egg nester deck. See, I can tell the guy about it because he's one of my best friends, and he's never pays attention when we're talking. So we could literally be talking about his deck we're making for him in the room with him, and he won't even realize we're doing it. Ghost Court, I think that's worth something. Oh, Aura Shards. There we go. We pulled one of the really valuable uncommons. I think it's worth like $13, $15. We'll have to double check that. And an Aether Flux Reservoir. That is going in my Keurig deck because I don't want to have friends. And Wear and Tear again. I pulled that one earlier too. Aura Shard's such a good card in anything with white-green. Just such a good card. Soul Warden. I think that's worth a couple bucks. Gush. That used to be worth some value. I guess we'll find out. When it enters the battlefield, return target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard to your hand. For 3 colors and 5 mana, probably not really worth it. Sunset Pyramid. No, we got another mana Morphos. I think that's worth about $10. We'll see it show on the screen. And a Thalia Lancer. Mage Right Stone. Untapped target creature with an activated ability of tap. It's got a lot of uses. It's got a fair number of cards, the decks you can put that into. So many commanders have untap abilities, it just forks it. I mean, as I said, I'm making the God of Deception deck. That'll definitely go in the God of Deception deck. Gazo tap. Just reap. I don't remember if that's worth anything. Pyrotechnics. Amok. Another Darksteel Garrison, a couple bucks there. Mirror Entity. Oh, yes, thank you, because I couldn't find my other one, and I'm just going to slip this off the side here because I'm in the middle of making a sliver deck, and boy, does he fit in the sliver deck. Doink. Mind Funeral. Don't think that's worth anything. Worst card to have in play with a when you get Mind Slavered. Just disgusting. All your stuff 0/0. Oh. Battle Rage. Oh, we're coming across them. We're coming across them now. I love those lands. The ones, the storage lands. I think the storage lands are underappreciated. If you just wait at the end of turn to add stuff to them at the end, they actually get some pretty good use. And a Sanctuary's not so much. Anger of the Gods, a pretty good board wipe for small creatures. Exiles them. Good in Tiny Leaders decks. Oh wow, that is truly not a good foil. Wow, that's terrible. I think I'm just gonna throw that one in the garbage and save time. I want that one to warp. Isolation Zone. Shattering Spree. I think that's worth a couple bucks. Oh, Timberwatch Elf. I didn't recognize the picture. Tap, target creature gets +X/+X till end of turn where X number of elves in the battlefield. A bomb in an elf deck. An absolute bomb in an elf deck. Followed up by a Rancor, which goes great with the Timberwatch Elf. Bear's Companion. Hedges battlefield, brings in a bear. Dub Bears. Dub Bears. Ancient Ziggurat. I think that's worth like $4, as I recall. $4 to $6. I'll have to double check that one on the screen. And a mana pool ability only play creatures. Sliver deck. Let's put that over there. Collective Brutality. I'll have to check the price on that one. Escalate. Discard a card. Pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Choose one or more. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose an instant or sorcery card from it. That player discards it. Target creature gets -2/-2. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. You can only choose one or more. And a Leveler, because a foil Leveler. People have made combos with that card, but if you have a deck that's based around getting rid of all come into play effects, it's pretty awesome. That's pretty much the only way to make it work nowadays, though. One of the only ways. Celestial Flare. Still a fun card to get rid of attackers. Hi, attack my indestructible guy. Thank you. Come again. Cultivate. I think that's worth a couple bucks. Esper Charm. All the charms are pretty solid. Thran Dynamo. That's a $4 card if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check that one. Rage Reflection. Creatures you control have double strike. That gets out of control fast. Phyrexian Plague Lord. It's definitely good. It's a good sack outlet. People do not appreciate a sack outlet. A 0 casting cost sack outlet that actually has a benefit effect. It's not a great effect. Sacrifice a creature. Target creature gains -1/-1. It kills small stuff. But the fact that if they go to control your creature, they go to do something, exile your creature, you have a sack outlet. Sack outlets are underappreciated in EDH, and you should have several in every deck you have. You again? You again? That one almost had an accident. I dispel the idea that I'm going to get another one of those. But that's just impulsive of me. I think that's worth a couple bucks. Hog Fanatic. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Used to be in fact, I think that is still a valuable card. Used to be pretty. There's a lot of people who could abuse that with that card. Sylvan Scrying. Speaking cards, I think it's worth a couple bucks. Herald's Horn. That is a $10 uncommon right there, folks. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. I don't know to put that in my Sliver deck, my Zombie deck, or any other deck to annoy people. Martyr's Cause. I have this in my Shiro's Shizio deck, where every time a creature dies, it comes back to play at the end of turn. Makes it really hard to kill stuff. I don't think it's worth that much value, though. Eldritch Evolution. As an additional cost to cast Eldritch Evolution, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with a converted mana cost X or less, where X is 2 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost to put that card onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Exile Evolution. This is the sorcery response to pardon me, folks, I'm drawing a complete blank on the card. Phyrexian mana and a colorless to sacrifice a creature to search for a card, one casting costs more. And a Greater Moss Dog. Oof. I can see the value on that one. A lot of people can abuse a lot of stuff with that card, though. Down to our last two, boys and girls. Come on, cross your fingers. Unflinching Courage. I think they have both versions of this in this one. So we'll see if they see if we pull out the other one too. That's terrible. Centaur Glade. Man, that is a pretty solid mana dump. Didn't know they were printing that one there. And Beastmaster Ascension. Ooh, not a valuable card there. And Rocks. 5/5 for 6. You may have Rocks deal combat damage as defending players that weren't blocked. So you're going to get through for 5 with that guy. Just absolutely. Going to get through for 5. Best you can say about that. Last pack. Last pack. Come on, folks. I need an excuse to leave the house. Need an excuse to leave the house. To go to another box. Indirect Current. I think I'm tempted to stick a fork in the slot if I don't get a good one. Fiery Temper. Rampant Growth. Solid, get more of those. Dawn's Reflection. Good to get that. Reflector Mage. I think that's worth $1 or so. Bottle Gnomes. One of the greatest quotes in Magic. Sacrifice Bottle Gnomes. You gain 3 life. Reinforcements or Refreshments. A Brinestone Mage. And Supreme Verdict. Well, that's not bad. I mean, that pays for the couple of packs on that one. And below that, another Foil Knowledge Pool. Well, that one doesn't pay for anything. That won't pay for a cup of coffee. But a Supreme Verdict's not a bad pull. At least we finished strong. Not exactly the Mana Crypt pack and the last one. I mean, still, I pulled a God and a Mana Crypt in the same pack. It's a $200 pack there, folks. Thanks for joining us on Unmasters of Magic, and see if this pays off for another box, and I can repeat this again tomorrow.